just shows you the fractions. If that cue ball would have dropped in the pocket when Neil Robertson played his safety, it would have been a chance for Ronnie. It just stayed above ground, and now another chance for Neil Robertson. Well, he's not happy with the contact, but once again the red's gone in and he couldn't finish any better on this blue. He's absolutely perfect.
Yes, and the black was relatively safe a few moments ago in that couple of little errors that both players made in the last 2 or 3 shots. The black has been sprung away from the red, so it makes both reds available now into the Heat's corner. So he only has to be careful here, Neil Robertson, to get right back into this frame and possibly win it at this visit. And we keep going back to that black. It will all be forgot about if he goes 3-1. His cup of tea won't taste very good if he loses this frame now. Could have won all 4.
Just 2 points behind these 3 reds, 3 colours, possibly yellow and green.
14.
Both players' pot success, as you can see, over 90%. You expect that at this level of competition. You know, safety
21.
success is not very good from either player, and surprisingly, you would think Ronnie would be the better safety player, but he's below 80%. That is a surprise. Anything but dead straight on this red will be okay.
29.
He looks pretty straight to me, though. He's going to have to play the screw shot and play for the black in the same pocket as this red.
30.
And played it nice.
It's funny how different players see that particular shot, John. I don't know whether you always fancied going round the back of the yellow there, because you could always under-hit or over-hit that shot. He's played it perfectly. So obviously for Neil it was the right shot. Which way did you like to play that one?
Well, I think it makes a difference. I've always thought that if you're left-handed, the yellow is the easier ball to get on. You could finish in the middle of the table more or less with the cue ball and still reach it. I think if for a right-hander you need to be more to this, the right-hand side of the table. But that's the green he needed, and Ronnie's calling enough. So Ronnie O'Sullivan could well have been 4-0 down. He won't be happy with 3-1, but that's the way it stands at the interval.
Well, it was worth the wait, that little unscheduled intermission from Neil Robertson's perspective, and that was a very confident reply. Ken, what do you think?
Yeah, it was very, as I said, he got it out of his mind very, very quickly and made a nice break there. But again, we're a little bit perplexed as to why Ronnie conceded so early, because he still has a long brown, not 100% certain to get it, and he only needs 1 snooker, Ronnie, so he still had plenty of chances, you know. But it seems that he was more in a hurry to get to the dressing room and sort of gather his thoughts as to play on.
What's your take on it, Steve?
Well, the thing is, I mean, obviously, if you want to get on with the game, you can't be bothered to be playing the tactical part of it. OK, that's the first thing. And you could argue that if that destroyed your rhythm, then OK. OK, but he's going to an interval, so there's no need to carry on with the game. But the thing about it is, if you can actually wrest the game from the other guy by turning it around with a couple of snooker, that can change the game completely. It's not just a case of how often it happens. OK, so you need 1 snooker against top-class opposition. Very rarely do they fail to escape, but we've seen it many times before. Yeah. So if you do happen to turn it around and win that frame, it's a massive event in a best-of-9 match. Yeah. So you've really got to give yourself the chance for it to happen. Yeah.
It's interesting, though. He did say earlier in the week that he's not interested in staying out there too long because he doesn't want to get involved in these tactical battles. He just wants to get out there and get on with it. But anyway, it's his decision. He's 3-1 down as we look at it. Now, one of the issues which you've been quite interested in, as have we, have been Ronnie's different bridges that he's used. He's had the loop bridge and one which Willie Thorne called the 2-finger hidden bridge. I think that sounds slightly dodgy, Willie, but you've been thinking about this as well, with a few suggestions as to what we should christen this. I'm not quite sure, but I shall summarise some of the suggestions. James Harmon says it should be called the Tuck Bridge. Pragmatic, that one, James. We've got Alan Jenkins. The bridge should be called the Aberdeen. It looks like an Aberdeen Angus bull, and that's rather topical. I like that one. Wally says, and this is slightly esoteric, Wally, I think they should call Ronnie O'Sullivan's new bridge the Rocket Fins. I know where you're going with that one. And Greg Knott has also said the first thing that came into my mind was a wishbone, so how about the Wishbone Bridge, which is my favourite, I must say. But I think the best one of all, Phil Yates told me, he writes for the Times, the Live Long and Prosper Bridge. Star Trek fans will know what we're on about. Mr. Spock the Vulcan, I rather like that one, Live Long and Prosper. But we have been usurped, because apparently we might already have a name for it, according to Harrison Parker, 17-year-old American, who says this bridge has had a name for 3 years in the States. It's called the Spider-Hand Bridge, and it's based on the comic book character Spider-Man, since it's the same way he positions his hand to shoot out the webs. And he also says, P.S., Ronnie O'Sullivan for president. Right. Well, he's kind of got a middle initial, I suppose. It's not W, but O. What do you think of the suggestions, and what good does it serve anyway?
Well, as far as its name, I'm not too sure if it has had a name in America for many years, but obviously the Spider-Man could be one. But it's an interesting thing, because the only time it's ever been used, as far as I've been aware, on the pool circuit, is when there's been a ball that's been hampering the distance you need your bridge to be. So, you know, if your bridge, you wanted it there, but that middle finger was going to touch the blue, then you put those two fingers away, and you can get this bridge a lot closer to the ball. So I've seen a lot of the pool players use that bridge. It's not the first time it's been used on the snooker circuit. Cliff Thorburn and Bill Werbenick used that, but then they had a little bit of a pool influence from being in Canada. Now the loop bridge is another matter. That's been used in America for many years, and is used for possibly strong shots, like power shots. And Joe Davis was the first person in snooker to advocate using this loop bridge. And one of the reasons, Ken, was quite interesting, what he said was...
I think, when you use the loop bridge, it actually stops the cue from lifting from the normal bridge, particularly when you're using deep screw shots, and power shots.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Whereas that gives you more control. But actually, as far as whether it's of any benefit...
Not really.
So
I mean, the bull bridge, or the Angus bull bridge, as that was going to be called, it's no real benefit. The only benefit is that, as you say, you can get nearer to the cue ball around the blue, but the other bridge, the loop bridge, I don't think so. I mean, it does stop the cue from moving off the hand. I'd say that's the only real reason. Yeah, well, obviously Ronnie O'Sullivan's been playing some American pool, and perhaps it's a little bit of a fad at the moment, a bit of fun. But yeah, they're strong bridges, but they're no better than the open hand bridge that most of the players have used, and obviously Ronnie's used it to great effect over the years as well.
All right, thanks, guys. I think we should have a democratic process, and you should decide at home what you want to call this one. Do drop us a text or an email. OK, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for Dominic Dale's diary. Yes, the spaceman has been armed with a camera throughout the whole snooker season. And yesterday he was in Belfast with a fully comprehensive cultural tour of the city. And now he's moved at warp speed to his home in Neath.
This is my home in West Wales, in Neath, where I live. Got back from Northern Ireland after getting trounced by Ronnie, but it's been a good tournament. They don't call me the spaceman for nothing. I've got many different interests: singing, opera. Oh geez, I've even got a garden which I look after, which you'll see, but it's mainly concrete, so it's not too much to do. Yeah, I'll probably take it to the club, and you'll see where I practice, so I'll catch you later. This is my snooker club where I practice from 9 till 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, I wish. Well, don't wish. And if you come on inside, I'll show you a quick tour of it and show you my table where I practice. And there you go. Snooker clubs are interesting, aren't they? Full of snooker tables, tables and chairs, big bar for drink, and that's about your lot. It's pretty quiet in here today, isn't it? Unless there's a few ghosts playing, I can't see anybody. And in total darkness here is my table. As you can see, there's not much going on there, so I shall just turn on the light. So, as you can see, I turn the lights on at long last. And this is my table which I practice on. It's not tighter than most of the club tables, if I can just give you a quick view of the pockets. And that's the same as a championship table, the ones that you'll see us playing on the television. Got the members' queues on my left. And we'll be walking through now into the kitchen area, which is where I make my lunch. That's Mike, the accountant, sitting at the table there. And Sue, gotta be honest, she actually makes my lunch for me. How you doing, Sue? Don't get much good conversation out of these two. One of my favourite programmes I like to watch in the lunch hour, Bag and Hunt. And the host actually and presenter, Timothy Wanacott, I actually met him. Raffle tickets, that's something to do with Steve Davis. I think he's doing an exhibition there in a couple of months. End of September I think he's doing it actually. Some more tables and chairs. Big club, isn't it? Shiny glass, isn't it? You can see me in there. There he is, Jamie, look. Oh my god, and there's another one. There's none of me though, what's going on? I'm happy about that. Well, I'm home in my house and I think I'm going to watch a video now. Love Friends, got every single series, 1 to 10. Just to the left of the Friends I've got all my Mario Lanza films. I think I'd like to watch his first film, That Midnight Kiss. Jose Iturbi, fantastic pianist, as was his sister I believe. Just going to watch that. There's a little glass of my favourite wine, Barolo. So cheers. I'm starving, mind. I've got to cook my dinner yet.
See, I think we should give Dominic his own show. It's fantastic. What do you think?
I tell you, I hope there's more people there when you turn up at the exhibition.
Exactly, it's like a ghost town. Oh dear, didn't you notice? I mean, every time Dominic turns up, everybody seems to disappear.
Nobody wants to talk to him.
Oh, Dominic, they're fantastic. Keep it up. I'm sure we will have another one tomorrow. Incidentally, you seem to love this as well. We've had quite a few emails in. Lorraine Romilly says, I think Dominic Dale's hilarious. Who else? We've got a big fan of Dominic Dale. Suzanne, in fact, Dominic's #1 fan. Please show more of the spaceman. He was once in my taxi and he tipped me a £5, so I love him. And that's from Chris Morell. Chris, he obviously didn't give you directions. This is the man who once drove from Cardiff to York and did a complete circuit of the M25, and it took him 12 hours to go from Cardiff to York. Anyway, we could go on and on. It's great stuff, isn't it? Anyway, back to the serious business here in Aberdeen. Now, one of the few successes of the new successes even of this Grand Prix situation here has been the group phase, which has allowed a lot of the younger players to come through and show us their stuff. And one man who's done that with tremendous effect is 21-year-old Jamie Cope from Stoke. The shotgun banged in a maximum break, and now he's made it to his very first quarter-final as a pro. And his opponent, Joe Perry, a very experienced professional. He's made the semis of the UK Championship last year. He's been to the quarters at the Crucible, but he's rarely seemed as relaxed and happy as he is now after becoming a father last week. So can Jamie burst Joe's baby bubble today? This is frame one. It's Cope at the table and Clive Everton and Dennis Taylor.